today we are going to be doing a leaf rubbing, and then we can do a resist painting over that if you have watercolor paint. So before we get started, what you're going to need to do is to go outside and find some leaves. So I've got some leaves here. It's best to use fresh leaves. You don't want leaves that have already been sitting on the ground and gotten kind of crunchy. You want fresh leaves so they don't crumble. And so I tried to find leaves in interesting shapes. This is an ivy leaf. I've got some grape leaves in here. Let's see, here's my grape leaf. And I think this little guy right here. Oh, here it is. So here's a grape leaf. And I've got some leaves from the trees in my yard. So I've got some different shapes of leaves. Now, to do a good leaf rubbing, what you want to do is find the side that has the most texture. So when you feel that leaf, there's usually one side that's smoother and one side that's rougher. So you want to take the side that's rough, okay, that has the texture, and you're going to put that underneath your paper. Now, I'm just using a piece of copy paper. If you have copy paper, that works really nicely because it's thin and you can feel the texture with the paper over the leaf. If the paper is too thick, it might not work as well. If you don't have copy paper, you can use one of the drawing papers I gave you. But copy paper is probably the best for this activity. So I've got the rough side of the leaf. The smooth side is here. It's rough side up. And I'm putting it under. Now my paper is taped onto this board so you can see what I'm doing, but you can just do this on the tabletop. You don't really need the tape. So I can feel where that leaf is, and I'm just going to put my finger right here on the stem so it doesn't wiggle around while I'm doing the rubbing. Now my crayon right here has a lot of paper on it, so I'm just going to peel that paper a little bit. Because when you do a rubbing, you're actually using the edge of the crayon, not the tip. Okay, so I'm laying it sort of flat like this to do the rubbing. All right, so let's give that a try. I'm going over that leaf. And you'll notice I made a purple leaf. You don't have to use purple. You can make your leaf any color you want. All right, so there's one leaf rubbing. You can see. Now the example on the right-hand side, one person did sort of a color wheel and did the leaves in rainbow order. And another one is an example of resist. I'm going to do a resist for mine. And right now I'm just putting these on here randomly, but you can arrange them on your paper. They can even overlap if you want. And again, I'm going to peel this crayon a little bit. I should have chose crayons that I've already peeled. And you don't have to peel the whole thing, just enough to get it so it works on its side. All right, so there's the stem right there. I'm just feeling it under the paper. And I'm going to do another rubbing. The top of my leaf. Leaf was kind of a funny smell. Alright. And put another shape of leaf. Okay. Finding that rougher side. So one side is smoother, one side is rougher. Use that rougher side, facing up. Overlapping a little bit with that other leaf, and that's okay. There's that one, and I'm going to do one more. It's a nice pointy one. I'll do this pointy one right here. Again, rough side up, find that tip, hold on to the tip. Alright, there we go. So the idea is you just want to fill up that paper with your leaf rubbings. And again, you can arrange them however you like. I'm trying to see the texture of this. Alright. Okay, there we go. Alright. Now, if you have some watercolor paint, you can get some water, of course, in your paints. And we can go over and do that resist technique. The most important thing if you're doing the resist technique is to make sure that you want to make sure that your color that you paint over the leaf with is contrasting with the color of the leaf that you're painting. So for example, I did some sort of bluish purple here. I'm going to go over that leaf. I'm going to go over that leaf with some orange. And the reason I'm using orange and not purple or blue is I want to be able to see that texture that I made. If I use the same exact color, it'll kind of get hidden when I do that resist. So I want to have some contrast so that I can see. Great. We'll keep going. Alright, so on this leaf right here I used brown. So I think I'm going to make that background blue. I'm not going to use blue. So you have to think about your color choices as you're painting. I'm going to make that one. So this one is going to be a yellow. Probably should have started. Yellow. Green would not have been the best choice. And then finally, you see a little dripping happening. You won't have to worry about that if you're working on a flat surface. Finally, I think my last... Now, like I said, I want it to do a background around my leaves. I'm going to do some blue here. Around the leaves with some blue. Now, if you wanted to, you could use a different color, but I would choose a color that you didn't paint the leaves. That's why I kind of stopped and said, I'm not going to paint any of the leaves blue because I want the background to be blue. So again, contrast. Those leaves to be hidden in the background. And there's a little bit of dripping happening. We'll spread that out. And again, if this was laying flat, it wouldn't have a drip. But if you do get a puddle, make sure you spread it out. Instead of dripping, you get too much paint, it can sometimes puddle. And going around the leaf here. Idea. Alright, so I've got myself a drip. we're just going to go around this last leaf, and you can paint more, but I'm gonna. Okay, so let me take this off of the board so you can hopefully get a better look at it. Alright, so you can see that resist when I get a little bit closer to the camera. You can see how by using a color of crayon, it's different from the color of paint. You can see all the details in that resist. Then you go over it with the paint. If you don't have paint, you could maybe use the top pastels. That would work nicely. Or just color it really lightly with a different colored crayon, or just leave it as a resist. There's lots of different possibilities. So go out there and gather some leaves. Make sure you're not picking any poison ivy or anything like that. But gather some leaves from the trees, maybe even some leaves from the flowers if that's allowed. And bring them into the house. Find the side of the leaf that has the most texture. Put it under your paper and see if you can do a leaf rubbing. I hope you have fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye.